Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sophie Erber.
And I'm Tim Seaman. The tri-state continues to roll out vaccination plans, and some Siouxlanders will soon be getting their shots through mass clinics.
Local pharmacies are still set to serve as vaccination outlets as well now. KCAU 9 News reporter Mallory Smith has the very latest information for us in our top story at 6.
The federal government is currently working to get the COVID-19 vaccine out to communities quicker, and one of the solutions is to distribute the shots to more places than just the doctor's office. Your local pharmacy, the next hub for vaccine distribution nationwide, but officials say that won't happen for a couple more months. Despite this, one pharmacist says they've been preparing for a while now.
We're excited. We literally, prep work happened so far back. We know exactly how it's going to work for us.
Pharmacist Liz Webb says they have never had this high of a demand for any immunization. So some of that preparation consisted of making sure a large portion of their staff is qualified and ready to administer vaccines.
We started out, we had 3 pharmacists that were able to give immunizations, and we've doubled that. So we have 6 to 8 people now in-house that are able to provide immunizations to patients.
We spoke with some Siouxlanders about where they prefer getting their shot and why.
I don't really prefer, but if I would say pharmacy.
Pharmacy would be easier because you know where the pharmacies, you just go down there and fill out the paper and do it.
I don't care as long as I get it.
I just feel that it's safer at the pharmacy. I like my pharmacy. I like the pharmacist. I trust the pharmacist, and I'm going to go there.
Webb says they hope their pharmacy has a supply of the vaccine by the end of this month, and as demand runs high, they will still be limited on how many doses they can provide, as that is based on the eligibility guidelines made by Iowa Department of Health and the federal government. You can find out where you are on the eligibility list in this story on our website. 32,000 more doses of the coronavirus vaccine will soon be available at large pharmacies to Iowans age 65 and older. Because vaccines are not available at your local pharmacy just yet, Tyler Brock of Siouxland District Health encourages people to keep close contact with your primary care doctor so you don't miss deadlines and important information regarding the vaccine. Reporting in the studio, Mallory Smith, KCAU 9 News.
All right, thanks, Mallory. And so far, all 3 Siouxland states have given at least 100,000 vaccinations to their residents. According to the Iowa Department of Public Health, more than 275,000 total doses have been administered, with more than 69,000 Iowans completing the series of 2 doses. More than 198,000 doses of that vaccine have been given out in Nebraska. This according to the state's coronavirus website. Roughly 55,000 people have completed both doses. And in South Dakota, more than 100,000 shots have already been given, and a little over 31,000 people with a completed series.
Taking a look tonight at the updated COVID-19 numbers from Woodbury County Health. They record 1 additional death today and 24 new cases in the past 24 hours. 15 patients tonight are currently being cared for at local hospitals. And in Nebraska, Dakota County has 5 new positive tests with 43 confirmed cases of COVID-19 over the last 2 weeks. And from South Dakota, Yankton County now listing 28 total deaths as well as 79 active cases. There is local opposition tonight to a measure approved by the Iowa Senate last week. Directors from the Sioux City Community School District holding a special meeting today to voice their opposition to what is known as the School Choice Bill. Senate File 159 would create a tax-funded scholarship program for students looking to attend a private school. Only students in 34 schools deemed as failing would be eligible for that scholarship money. But many worry that other districts would feel the financial pinch when education dollars get redirected. A local resolution states, in part, the Sioux City Community School District Board of Directors believes that Iowa public schools provide a strong educational experience for all students. We denounce any attempt to divert public funds from highly accountable public schools to private institutions that lack accountability and are not subject to rigorous academic scrutiny. The Iowa Senate passed File 159 last week. So far, still has not made its way to the House floor.
Well, another cold day here in Siouxland, turning our attention to the weather department, but the temperature is just going to get colder.
And it's just part of the story that's ahead, too. Meteorologist Marcus Beasley is with us now to give us that update. Marcus?
That's right. We're going to see snow moving in tonight, and then directly behind that, much colder temperatures move in for the weekend, and we'll even see a few more snow chances as well. So it is a pretty interesting weather pattern that we're going to see here over the next week or so. High temperatures today reaching up into the upper 30s and lower 40s throughout much of Siouxland. That is going to be well above what temperatures we're going to see here this weekend. Forecast lows tonight, they'll drop down into the lower 20s, so it does look like it is going to be a cold night tonight. That snow will move in later on around midnight into tomorrow morning. It does look like we are going to see a little bit accumulate as well. I'll have details on how much and when we can see that snow, or when we can expect that snow coming up in the 9 on 9 forecast. Tim?
All right, Marcus, thanks. We'll get back to you shortly. Wrestling is a male-dominated sport, but that may be changing in the next few years here in Iowa. Although the State Athletic Association does not sanction girls wrestling, over 450 girls from more than 100 schools recently participated in an Iowa championship. Now, the event drew about 100 more competitors than just a year ago. That growing interest in the sport is seen right here in Siouxland. 2 girls at Sioux City East High School recently placed in that state meet.
They're starting to get more of a girls' league going in some places. Like Kansas started a girls' league. I think Iowa's starting to think of it. They've got girls' state, so it's starting to be a big thing. I think they're waiting to make it a whole league on its own until they get more girls, but it's coming soon. With the amount of girls that went to girls' state, it should be pretty soon here.
And coming up tonight at 10, KCAU 9 reporter Marina Bach will share how the Lamar's girls wrestling program has grown tremendously in the past few years. Tonight, they currently have 10 girls competing on their team.
Super Bowl Sunday just days away now, and while the stands at the stadium in Tampa might be limited with fans, some Siouxland bars will be at capacity as restrictions have been lifted and bars and restaurants in Nebraska. One bar owner tonight telling us he's going to do his part to sanitize well, but he's hoping a full house on Super Bowl Sunday will help bring his business out of the red.
For a lot of us, this is our livelihood. This is how we feed our families. So hoping people understand that. And obviously we're trying to take precautions as much as we can. But again, like I said, we have to make a living somehow.
And coming up tonight at 10, KCAU 9's Lydia Vasquez explains more on the economic impact owners expect this Sunday to have and how they still plan to enforce those health measures.
Of course, it's the players on the field that get the most attention on game day.
Naturally, why diversity in the NFL is being contrasted by the staff of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming up.
And it's looking like tonight that snow is going to move into the area. Messy travel expected tomorrow, and then Arctic blast for this weekend. Details on all of that after the break.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Tim Seaman, Sophie Erber, meteorologist Marcus Beasley, and sports director Jake Jones. This is KCAU 9 News at 6.
Will be below zero, high temperatures in the single digits and teens, so very cold air moving into the area. And our picture didn't show up. I guess I don't know, it went away. Anyway, if you want to send us a picture, go ahead and go to SiouxlandProud.com and click on the weather tab. Go to send us your photos when you click on that, and you'll be able to upload all of your weather pictures to our website. Tim and Sophie.
Thanks, Marcus. And also, if you want to see those photos that other people are submitting, you can actually do that on that same tab.
Make sure you send us your best shots when we get them on the air.
With the many firsts taking place on Sunday during the Super Bowl, the lack of diversity is still an issue.
What makes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sideline staff one of the most progressive in the NFL? Take a peek at that next. Well, generally, it is the players on the field at any football game that are the ones at the center of attention.
Of course, but Jake joins us now with a special report about how during the week of the big game, those on the sidelines are actually drawing some attention too.
In a year where we're seeing the first woman officiate the Super Bowl, diversity, or lack of it, is still a hot topic in the National Football League. Jack Doles joins us live from the Super Bowl in Tampa with that story. So, Jack, is the NFL doing enough?
Jake, I'll let the numbers answer that question for you. There are 32 teams in the NFL, 3 black head coaches. That's the same number as last year. So have things changed? Not really. But don't blame Bruce Arians of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He has a diverse staff and his teams in the Super Bowl. He has the most diverse staff in the NFL, but Bruce Arians says it wasn't by design.
Those are the best coaches I know.
The Bucs coordinators are all black. Todd Bowles runs the defense, Byron Leftwich the offense, and Keith Armstrong is in charge of special teams.
A player is going to ask the coach, how are you going to make me better? So if you can teach, you can coach.
Arians says growing up, some of his best teachers were women, so he didn't give it a second thought when he hired Lori Locust as an assistant defensive line coach or Maral Javadafar to his strength and conditioning staff.
You have to understand, there's a blessing and a curse to media coverage in regards to women coaches, because what it looks like sometimes is that we've just sprung up out of nowhere, whereas there's hundreds of women that are at various levels of football.
It takes time to make progress, and it takes a coach like Arians to have the courage to think outside the box. So while he watched 7 head coaching vacancies get filled, he was left wondering why a coach like Byron Leftwich didn't even get an interview.
I was really upset that Byron didn't get one because I think he's everything that everybody's supposedly looking for.
Yeah, it's kind of a head scratcher that he didn't even get an interview. And then on the other sideline, you've got Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl for the 2nd straight year. At least he had some interviews, but he's still not a head coach. I think the league, Jake, can learn a lot from Bruce Arians.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jack. And yeah, Bieniemy, huge storyline out here. A lot of KC Chiefs fans rooting for them in the Super Bowl. Tim and Sophie, send things back to you.
I'm still taking Tampa.
I was going to say, you're still a Bucs fan, aren't you?
Yes, I have to be.
Well, basketball is a little more traditional sport here in Siouxland. Kingsley Pearson has a girls basketball team that's, well, doing some really good things all year long.
Jake has the Panthers' secrets to success coming up in sports.
KCAU 9 News is brought to you in part by Casey's.
Welcome to the Sunshine State. The weather is one reason so many people flock to Florida. Some say the best time to visit is in February when the big game takes place. The average temperature is in the 70s. It's not spring break or storm season, so the crowds are smaller and the weather is great.
This Big Game Fact is brought to you by Cozy Heat Fireplaces.
Here's the picture from Carmen that did not show up earlier. The winter wonderland out there again, that freezing fog creating beautiful images throughout Siouxland here the last couple of days. Tonight, we're going to see snow move in, so that is what we're going to have pictures of for everyone to take tomorrow.
All right, thanks.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 10. Until then, we hope you have a great night.